Going on, everybody? It's your girl, Sammy Jo the Fox. You are listening to the Homegirl Fox podcast or the Friend podcast. I don't know. Some homegirls in the room trying to change it. But I have a special guest welcoming back our homie Edin.
Thank you.
Edin, I know you're really tired. Tired of saving the world.
Nah.
Like, first of all, I want to just commend you always. Like I said, you're always welcome here.
Thank you.
Something happened really crazy recently. I was scrolling through my feed, and we all see bullshit on our feed. But then I see my friend Edin, and I was like, okay, he's at the Dodger game, just normal, right? Dodger game stuff. And then the homie takes off, and the crowd starts cheering, and all of a sudden, Deion Sanders, aka Edin, is on the field, is on Dodger Stadium's field, running through the field, living all of our dreams, probably. But he was doing it for a certain reason. It wasn't just fools gone wild. Edin, you are here to really touch on that. Talk to me, dude. Talk to me.
So it was like a perfect storm of what's going on. So Dodger Stadium is inside District 1 of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is broken up into 14 districts.
Okay.
Each district has a council member, and one of them is Gil Cedillo. So it all started let me backtrack. I was at a concert, and someone handed me one of these stickers here, which was Displacers.
Displacers.
And I was like, I knew the history, but it's something that you just kind of just keep going. There's so much injustices in the world that we can't be on top of everything, right?
For sure.
So now I was like, I started doing my research. I was like, damn, that's some fucked up shit. Sorry. And
yeah.
So
you can cuss.
So then Avenue 26 happened, which is in the
Correct.
same district, and I understand why they did it. There were some residents that were complaining about it got too packed. It got too popular and stuff. And
at the same area that Avenue 26 has been at forever.
Correct.
It's just like that popular now.
It got popular.
Right.
But when I spoke to the residents, they're like, hey, we didn't want them to leave. We just wanted them, one of the customers to just not burn out at 1 a.m, do burnouts, stuff like that. So
yeah, because it's kind of like an outside party, a little bit of a tailgate.
Right.
You know? I mean, people eat and leave, but yeah, people are hanging out too.
Yeah. So what I didn't agree with what Gil Cedillo did, he just without warning just closed it down, and folks showed up with their food ready to sell. They lost thousands of dollars just that day.
Yeah.
And that's what pissed me off, right?
For sure. No warning, no nothing.
Till this day, he's been avoiding us. He hasn't even sat down with none of the vendors. And a lot of the vendors live in Lincoln Heights, so it's not just outside people, right?
Yeah.
So then that happened, and we finally found them a location here in Pico Rivera at the sports arena.
Amazing.
So that was one of the things. So when I experienced them being displaced, that's when I met other people who also told me, hey, this happened to us at Dodger Stadium, and we've been trying to get their attention for decades, and this and that. And then Gil Cedillo votes on an anti-protest law, basically just silencing people to hold him accountable for the stuff that he's basically selling out to his community, So that's when
hiding his shit.
So that's when I was like, you know what? All right,
Yeah. You better never play. This is a thing. A lot of those things have happened because people don't do anything about it.
Right.
And me and Norbert had a little certain talk. I found out which at the end I'll tell you who my grandfather is. But I was suggesting that the reason why I back you up and the reason why I always give you a forefront and tell people about you is because you are physically doing the work. You show up to these things. Mm-hmm. So background Edin, if you don't know him, on a normal, on a daily basis, this guy, besides going to work and being a father, this guy's out there, on the battlefield, actually protecting these vendors, wanting to help the vendors who are being attacked right now. And I even said it for my own self and my own accountability, because I have all these things going on. I haven't, I'm not that person. Edin is, which is why I kind of pull him up with me, because I'm like, if this is what I could do to show other people, then this is how I can help. You know what I mean? And I want to help him because he is out here helping our people. Okay, and this is on a daily basis. Go to his page. You could find him. It's not Fools Gone Wild, but you will see him on there. But if you went to his page, you would actually see that you can't, can't even put a count on it. I don't even know if you're keeping up with the count that you're actually taking care of these people by helping them. But it's a lot.
Thanks. I sometimes feel like I could do more, but right now it's been, like you said, it's been a daily thing, and now it just became automatic. It's just
For
part
sure.
of my life now. But the stuff that happened at Dodger Stadium, this is to represent the folks that have been doing the work.
Correct.
As far as organizations that have been exposing what happened. And it's the thing what happened at Dodger Stadium. It wasn't just to shed light about what happened 50 years ago. It's still happening right now. And it's going to happen right now. Once the eviction moratorium ends, they're going to be kicking a lot of folks who, lost their jobs because of the pandemic. And it's going to be tough. So it's still happening now. But so we decided to just run, protest, because we've gone. I've seen the comments, right? Some people were like, just go to the council meeting, do it. Like 5 people show up to those meetings.
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Okay, and that's why I say what I say about you too. Like he's political. He's been on my show to explain how you can get in touch politically and how you can do those things. So this is someone who knows. This is like trial and error. This is not someone who just randomly was like, nah, like I'm just gonna do this out of the blue. This is someone who's already tried every tactic, and now we had to take it to another level.
Yeah.
But I'm going to rewind, and I want you to go ahead and speak on what happened to the Displacers and how that worked, because a lot of people like myself had no clue. Mm-hmm. Like just watching your video was kind of like my first introduction to it, to where like that led to people having conversations, and then I was like, oh shit, like I had no idea this happened. Can you go ahead and relay this story?
Yeah, so I had the misconception too. I thought it was just Chavez Ravine until I met Melissa, and she basically told me, no, this was actually 3 communities. So it's like saying, if we're living, let's say right now in Montebello, right? We're
Correct.
in Montebello, and then someone says, hey, we're gonna build a stadium here, get out, and we say, no. And then 100 years from now, they say it was another name, and then we're like, no, this is Montebello, Pico Rivera, and Whittier. Like, dude, fuck off. Like, this is the real cities. It's not whatever name you guys are putting in. That's another name.
You would feel some type of way if someone came and took your cities away from you all of a sudden and called it something else.
Oh yeah. And so what happened there is that the city of LA, I guess they had certain plans to get rid of the communities there, right? And then I guess once they got them out, it's when the city of LA just decided to sell it to the Dodger Stadium. And that's why some people say, well, it's not the Dodger Stadium's fault. Well, if I see someone stealing a bag from an old lady and I know it's stolen, I'm just as guilty just for buying it, knowing that it's stolen, knowing
I see what you mean.
That's not mine, or it's.
When did this when did this take place that this happened?
This happened around 1959? Yeah, 1959.
1959.
1959.
Which, you guys, 1959, it's not that long ago. If you really, really think about it, like when you look at like all those history pics, like you guys are just in black and white. That's all. They just put it in black and white, and it looked a little further than that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm not too savvy on the situation what's going on. I don't know if you heard what happened in Manhattan Beach. So
I'm not sure.
So there's certain land that was stolen from African Americans, right? So
okay,
100 years later.
Oh yes, to a couple, right?
Yeah, now they're getting it back. You know, and that's 100 years ago.
Yeah.
So like if that's happening to them, like why don't we ever get reparations? Why don't we? And then the families that I've met, they're not even asking for, like, they're asking for like a list of demands. 3 community centers, just.
Mm-hmm. What communities are they?
They want to name 3 community centers after the communities that were displaced. Like,
Got you.
Like La Loma, Palo Verde, and Bishop.
Okay.
So that's basically with the money that Dodgers make. I mean, they make what, $9 million a game or something like that.
For sure.
So I mean, it's possible.
I mean, obviously, it's possible.
Yeah.
What they're trying to make? You said what was it? Like what kind of facilities?
Community centers.
Oh, just community centers.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's all that they're asking for.
That's one of the initial demands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the initial demands. You did bring someone here with you.
Yeah, who's actually part of the family who who were displaced, and she knows more than she can say better than I do
For
as
sure.
far as what exactly happened there.
She actually brought up a picture. She brought up this picture, and you said that was your grandma, your aunt. Okay, but your family. I've seen that picture before, and I will make sure that when when this one comes out, that we actually bring up the picture. But I have seen that picture for years. I never knew what that was even about. So the fact that it connected to this and that you're in the room is pretty fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
So you guys met up, and what's been happening since? How did you guys get together to do the whole Dodger Stadium situation?
So we linked up a little bit after, when she heard about what happened, and we're like, because I had met some other family members, and
Yeah.
she has an organization that said, hey, we can, link up after the whole Dodger thing, after
Yeah.
we went out there, because she's seen like them choking me out, and she reached out after that.
Oh, okay. So that was afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was going through your brain when this plan came up, Edin? I need to know all the deets.
I was just like more worried about I wanted to do this before the 7th inning stretch, and time was ticking, and then at first that inning was like the fastest inning ever. So next thing you know, I look and it's 2 outs, and I'm like, damn, like it has to be now. Like I need to do this now. I wasn't nervous. I was just like, I need to get out there.
You didn't look nervous at all.
Nah,
In fact,
I was angry.
You did look pretty fucking angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did. I did notice that. But I mean, you have to be in a certain place to fucking do something like that, and what you did it for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the crazy part about that is, like, looking at the comments, I'm like, y'all will cheers on like anybody who's just running out there for stupidity. But the moment somebody ran out there to bring awareness because of Dodger Stadium, certain people had a problem.
Yeah.
And like I'm looking at the comments, and it's pretty half and half.
Yeah.
And some people were saying, well, like Dodger Stadium gave out so many jobs, and their families work for Dodger Stadium. You know what I mean? How did you feel about some of the things being said in the comment section?
I mean, well, look, I coached 10 years for the Dodgers Foundation for free.
And he didn't coach me. I'll take the compliment, though. Girl looking young.
So the Dodgers RBA program is volunteer based. It's volunteer ran, so it's not like they're really investing that much.
Yeah, I have seen pictures of you. Your kids were involved, right?
Yeah, my
okay,
kids.
for sure.
And I actually coached in East LA. My first season was 2009, 2010.
Okay.
That was my first season coaching. So, that doesn't give justice. I mean, they don't even pay their workers that much.
Yes.
It's not like they're balling and they have a house and they're able to provide.
Well, yeah, if you could just volunteer to do that, that doesn't sound like that.
And even the workers at the stadium, they don't get paid that much.
Oh yeah,
I
actually worked with someone.
One of the vendors from one of the vendors I know works at Dodger Stadium, and for her to have a second job to provide for her family, that's.
I have a friend like that too.
Yeah.
Is her name Adriana?
No.
Okay.
So
well, there you go. Everyone needs a second job if you work at Dodger Stadium.
Exactly.
Apparently.
So it's like, is it really that great? No. I mean, but at the end of the day, like I had a girlfriend who was living in Linwood at the time when the Raiders wanted to move in there, right?
Okay.
And the community got together and they said no. If they would have gone in there and just kicked everyone out, and then also the false promises that they gave these folks. So the reason why I had a lot of anger was because I'm seeing this shit happen right now.
Yeah.
So when I see this in our history that's been swept under the rug, and it's like, that was worse.
Yeah.
And so going back to when I'm running on the field, I'm running on the field and I see two shadows creep up behind me, and I'm like, okay, I don't want them to yank my head off like this from my shirt and I break my neck, because I knew they were gonna rough me up. So I stop and I try to juke one of them. I accidentally stepped on the banner, and then that's when I fell.
Yeah.
And
it was a good spin though, dog. It was fucking. I was like, go, But yeah, obviously.
But they use excessive force, not like it.
Of course.
And this is coming from someone who I was a victim of police brutality twice, like I told you.
Correct.
Before.
Yes, we have talked about that before.
And so while I was on the floor, someone grabbed my balls, like someone like literally tried to squeeze them, like to cause me pain. I'm getting choked out. They're calling me a little bitch and this
Wow.
and that. And I was like, all right, cool. You know, and then they wanted to carry me out, like with my legs. I was like, no, you're not going to carry me out.
Yeah. What
So
was so hard about walking you
they
out?
stood me up, and I thought that was it, you know. But this guy who looked like a former police officer, he just choked me the whole way out. I have the video,
Yeah.
which I'm going to post later on tonight.
Okay.
He's choking me. I'm already past the gate. He's still choking me all the way till we get close to the cop car.
Wow.
And not only that, then we have Wendy, who just stepped out. She has a huge black eye.
Oh shit.
We still don't know. She said she doesn't remember how it happened.
So she's one of the people who also ran out there.
Yeah, she's.
Whoa, she's a soldier.
Yeah. She ran after right after
I hope
me.
she's not locked out.
No, she's right
good?
out there. Yeah.
Okay. Damn. So they gave her a black eye.
Yeah.
You guys, that's real. I saw Homegirl. She has black eye.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna ask, but damn, that's fucked up. Were the police officers, were they kind of like old?
The ones that the security or the
Yeah,
police
security.
officer? The security, I would say he was probably like around 45, 50.
Yeah, I feel
know?
like a lot of the security team is pretty old.
Yeah.
Out there, but
There were some young ones though.
okay, because last time I went, oh, Norbert's just interrupting us. Last time I went, I noticed that they're very like God, you would think they were white.
Yeah.
They just kind of like everything is so pressing and I couldn't understand why, but then I'm thinking, damn, like what this was on the field, like we were just in the parking lot and they were fucking getting nuts. I can't imagine the extra aggression that they put on you.
Yeah.
What did it come with? There's a scolding, you get a ticket. What's the
So what happened?
Yeah.
I thought I was banned for life. I was like, damn, like I'm still going through a breakup. Like just yesterday, I was looking at videos of me at Dodger Stadium. I was like, damn, I'm never gonna. I was like, it feels like a breakup, man. Like,
Man,
I'm still
I
not
know
over
your
it.
homegirl was like super triggered my jacket. I'm like, I'm sorry, I've been a Dodger my whole life.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know.
too.
But I get it though.
Yeah.
I get it though, and it's very strong. It's very strong. But so what were the consequences of this situation?
So we got detained about 4 hours at the I guess Dodger Stadium has like its own little detention location.
Okay,
Like a
they got their own little
jail.
Dodger jail.
Yeah.
Okay.
They started bringing in drunk people and stuff like that.
Oh shit. Okay.
And then
You guys, that place does exist, so don't act crazy. Okay.
so then after that we were there for about 4 hours. They took us to the I think a northeast station to get us booked.
To really book you.
Yeah, we were there for like an hour or two, and then we were released. So basically, what they charged us with is field intrusion, which is a misdemeanor, and I'm banned from the stadium. Well, apparently every MLB stadium for 5 years.
What?
Yeah, 2026.
I
I'll
was
come
just
back.
gonna invite you.
Yeah, sure. Your season tickets.
And by the way, for coming, no, that's crazy.
And then here we have another. He was the third runner. We have Pancho
Hi
here.
guys.
He's
Okay,
here, too.
well, let me ask you this. When did they want to talk about anything that like you even brought? Did you mention like this is why I'm here? Like, cause you're protesting really.
Yeah.
Like this wasn't like just a jackass running across the fucking field. Not to say that you're a jackass,
Yeah.
but you know what I meant.
Yeah.
This wasn't just that. Did you say like, why you're doing it? Did they say anything back?
Yeah. So after the guy finished choking me out, I was like, I don't know why you're taking this personal, dog. Like this is a protest, you know? And he was just like, shut up, bitch, and I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
It was actually the cops who were like super nice. I told him what it was up, and I was like, wow, like that's a good cause, you know? And I was just like,
Yeah.
And-
Weird.
yeah, it was weird.
Yeah.
And some of them didn't even know the history, so they were just like
A lot of
infatuated.
us.
Yeah.
A lot of us. I really like very super clueless. I mean, obviously, if you watch that story, like you get caught on right away.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, I really want some background on this. Like, so they just wiped all these people out. Like, how many people? You know? But you say like 3 communities.
Yeah.
Like, if that's Pico, Montebello, and Whittier, that's fucking a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I would be crazy fucking pissed off too.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it. But we do have Melissa here, right? Melissa, yes. We can turn that on, homegirl. Let's see. Let me get the camera to you real quick. And Robert's gonna work on it. Anyways, okay. So this is Melissa, you guys, and
Pancho,
there you go. Everyone's here. You can see the light.
Jaguar.
You're good. Well, you guys welcome here. And Melissa, thank you for being here. I know Melissa walked in and she saw my jacket. I'm wearing my Dodger jacket, and I thought she was wearing a Dodger shirt, but I'm just kidding. But she's actually wearing the logo that they use for this to spread their. How did you say it to me, homegirl? You said you're using the same their same logo. Marketing. I mean, go ahead and talk into the mic, honey.
I'm using their same marketing and
Pull it up a little bit. Sorry.
First, I want to say thank you for having Buried Under the Blue here.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and then second, I want to make sure that I acknowledge and thank the Indigenous Revolutionary Warriors for their sacrifice. I think that that's very important.
I got her. Yeah. So, I'm sorry, I had this really low. But we have her. Okay.
Yeah, back to what I was saying, I want to make sure that we give a shout out to all three of them, the Indigenous warriors. This was very revolutionary. This was a big sacrifice. And so I think the community needs to acknowledge that and lift them up.
For sure.
Yeah.
Can you go ahead and let them know a little bit of your background and why this affects you so much?
Well, this affects me directly because this is my family.
Correct.
Those pictures of the woman being dragged out by all fours, that iconic picture, is my family. We were one of the most photographed, but not the only family. There was many families that were fighting. However, ours just happened to be the most photographed.
Yeah.
So I want to make that clear, that it wasn't just us, it was multiple families.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's crazy that it had to happen to be your family caught in those photographs, but you're out here and you're actually, well, this is your spot first, you're telling the story. And that might be why that even happened. You know what I mean? Like for some reason, whatever was photographed and you were the person to step up and actually fulfill that spot. It kind of sounds meant to be. You know what I mean? How many people you guys have a big community of actually spreading this word?
We have an organization, and there is a lot of relatives that are standing behind us, elders.
Okay.
Especially elders, because there's still people that are very upset to this day that refuse to go to the stadium. We have a lot of community members that went to the grave with never receiving justice and still would never step foot in that stadium.
Wow.
So it's deep, the trauma
Yes.
runs deep, and I'm just super appreciative for their sacrifice to bring awareness. I think it's something that we need to reconcile with as
Yeah.
brown people.
How did you see it, or what did you?
Somebody sent it to me. They were like, "Did you see this? Is this
Yeah.
you?"
They thought it was her.
They were like, "We were looking."
You were like, why didn't I think of that? No, but that has to hit a certain place. Like I said, and she walked in here and she felt triggered. Like I don't want to trigger nobody. First of all, I have my own triggers, and I can't. And obviously, you're not fully healed. You're still trying to make a change. What is it that you guys are looking for from Dodger Stadium besides having the centers and whatnot? What are you really looking for to find the forgiveness that you're in search of?
Well, the first thing, it would be nice to have a public apology by the city of Los Angeles and the Dodgers Corporation, because together they colluded to do this, to steal.
Correct.
And violently.
Yeah, and not just in any way, this. So touching more, if whoever knows, was this ever like, did they get any notice, or just one day out of the blue, living their regular lives, that they came in and wiped them out?
Well, it was a process over 10 years. So
Okay.
there was multiple steps. However,
Okay.
we're talking, and see, this is what I think a lot of times brown people don't realize,
Okay.
is this is before civil rights. We're talking still in segregation.
Correct.
They just automatically
glad you brought that up.
assume like, oh, Chicano movement, and put it somewhere on there, but that's not the case. This is the precursor to that.
Yeah, they didn't give a shit.
Yeah, so we're talking still segregation. There was still laws on the books that prevented people of color from owning homes, which was called covenants, which I say is before redlining. So we couldn't even own property.
Wow.
And so this was one specific place that we actually could obtain home ownership, the American dream. So that's why it was so important. It became, we equivalated to like Black Wall Street. It was Brown Wall Street.
Yeah.
Because we were self-sustaining. We had 3 communities. We had schools, stores, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. But I mean, if you look at some of our other history of our other comrades, you can see how these kind of communities, when they become self-sustainable like that, they come in and destroy them, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So it was equivalent. This is the brown version of that we never hear when we ask, where's our history at? Well, here it is.
Yeah,
Here it is.
it's
And
fucked
now-
up because
Yeah, we have to reconcile.
yeah,
with
it's
it.
fucked up for a lot of us to just find this out because, you know, like he said, going through a breakup like with Dodger Stadium, it's because we're all connected. Like a lot of things that we don't, like she said, like they kept most of this from us, you know. And you said that oh yeah. I was actually asking them like, hey, like there should have been more footage of that because I can't. This was the first time I've ever seen anybody use Dodger Stadium to protest. I've never seen that before. And I was saying there should be more footage, but you guys are saying that suppression. They're actually just
They're using the brown dollars that people go when they support them now against brown people to silence our voices.
That's rough. That's rough, dude. It's rough because like I was even thinking like when we just had this recall that wasn't a recall. You know, the next day it was like you can't go to do this, you can't go do that, and you can't do this, right? And the first spot they picked was the games, concerts, the bars. You guys, that's us. That's us. That they look at to be that weak, that we cannot go in our lives without doing those things. And my cousin actually, you know, said it to me. And of course, he's like, everyone's dumb and this and that. And I'm like, okay, I get that. You can always point at people and be like, they're dumb. But when I can't do everything by myself. He can't do everything by himself. She can't do, you know what I mean? We would have to be as a whole, be on the same page. And it's fucking so hard to do that nowadays. Like we can't even watch the homie run across the field and protest something that's correct without even judging it for what the fuck that was. You know what I mean? We'll go along with the jackass that runs for nothing, but then we have something to say about the homie who's actually just bringing brown lives to matter on screen, to say that, hey, we had people here. You know what I mean? And to me, that means a lot. Like, fuck, if those were my cities, I don't even know what I would do. You know what I mean? So, like, I can't imagine how proud you felt, you know, seeing people actually do something.
Well, I mean,
finally.
even some of the elders and us gathered the next day, and we had elders that are in their 90s that broke down crying.
Yeah, one of them cried to me. That's what made it worth it.
Because you're fighting for them.
Yeah.
Like, and they have felt this lost fight for years.
Yeah. And it goes further even back, like the brother here, Jaguar, he could tell you better than I can. Like before that, you know, this was Quiche land, this was our indigenous land before the white people came in here and colonized it. You know, it goes way back, and it's just like something's got to give, man. Like something's got to give. Like, and it's now or never, you know, and especially to bring to awareness of, you know, how deep our roots are in this land.
For sure. What's the name of the organization?
Buried Under the Blue.
Buried Under the Blue. Ooh, that's fucking deep.
It's, because they there was a school, and it's called Palo Verde Elementary, and they ripped off the roof and they threw dirt, so it's literally buried under there. What? And even the communities, when they would give birth or they would lose their babies or the placentas and all that stuff, so they would bury them there. So that's why we said buried under the blue, because what do they tell you? Think blue, right? So that's why we used also their thing of think brown, not blue.
Orale.
Yeah.
Shit, that's hard as fuck. Wow, that's intense. That's more intense than I thought this was gonna be.
Yeah, and I think someone who said it good too was actually James Edward Olmos was giving a speech on that day that we protested. And some people were saying that he hired us because he actually spoke about this situation. He said that because he was talking to Valenzuela, right?
Okay.
And he said, before you came here, Mexicans hated the Dodgers. I mean, that was before you and I were born. I mean, I don't know. I don't remember that. But obviously we weren't born. But he said, before you came here, Mexicans hated the Dodgers because of the injustices that happened here. But ever since you threw that first pitch, all of a sudden people forgot, you know?
Wow.
They used him.
And then he gave that, and I had to go back to the game. I had to watch the whole game, and I went back. I was like, oh, he actually did say that on the same day that we protested that.
That's not a coincidence.
No, and
it's time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and September 15th, isn't it the day of the grite, right?
Yeah.
The day, you know,
The
that
Mexican
before
independence,
Mexican independence,
Oh,
they went
that's
out,
right.
the warriors, and they
That was the same
yelled,
day.
right, and signaled for the people to rise up.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess it's all coming. It's a sign. It's something.
It's
to the
definitely
community
something.
to wake up. And,
You've never talked anywhere else?
Yeah, I've done community speaking and
But-
different things.
oh,
But
okay.
more of what I've done is like organizing for housing rights.
Okay.
And, helping people that are getting evicted.
Yeah.
Because I want to help them to understand their rights. Because
hell
I don't
yeah.
want them to be carried out. Kind of that
For
thing.
sure.
So I've been more in that capacity.
You've been in the experience to know, and you don't want anyone to feel
I
the
want to
same.
empower people because that's what my family lacked. My family could not read and write English. So when my great grandmother was served with her eviction paper, she signed with an X. So I mean, they didn't have access to attorneys. Nobody wanted to represent you. Again, we're talking in segregation.
Yeah.
This is before.
What do most families have to do?
Sorry?
Like when they did that, like what do most families like?
They were frightened. They were scared.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what we've seen, like, I know they call it the Zoot Suit riots. It really should be the Sailor riots.
Whoa. Talk about that, because I know that the Zoot Suit riots right now are out there like expressing their story.
Yeah, they just did that riot. And
Yeah.
so my thing is, when we talk about that, the Sailor riots, where do you think those brown people lived?
There.
Yeah. But nobody ever makes that connection. So, how many times do
Yeah.
we have to see our people brutalized? How many times?
Yeah.
And then even right now with the census saying that we're the majority, I mean, okay, now we have the numbers. When are we going to start acting accordingly?
That's for sure. That's what I'm saying though. Like there's this thing. It's like, and this is why I put you on the forefront for whatever I do. Because I'm like, first of all, you're a great talker, and I asked you if you've ever done this before because you're a good talker yourself. And you know what? Like I would love to connect you to certain people too, so that way you can keep doing this because this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
This is
This
very
is my water to carry. Yeah.
absolutely, because Edin could come here and explain the story and why it pissed him off, but I know that there is something way deeper on this side, and you can feel it. You can feel it, and people want to feel these things
And they need to. We need to reconcile with this.
for sure.
Understand, because again, what we experienced is happening to all of you guys throughout Los Angeles with gentrification. Again, like Edin
Yeah.
was saying, the moratorium is going to be up in 2 weeks. So are you guys going to wear your Dodger gear when they carry your family out?
Sheesh.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? When are we going to start politically engaging? Start showing up to these things, start putting in representatives that are going to represent things for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, leveraging power for us, because right now the representation that we have, they visually look like us brown, but they're not attacking
no.
the policy
No.
that is inherently racist.
For sure.
Yeah,
It's always
it is.
people collecting than giving. You know what I mean? And we definitely need work. We've been needing work.
Representatives that are going to represent the people, the communities, and leverage the power the way it's supposed to be, the appropriate way, and stop selling us out for these big, huge developments, stop taking Dodger money, stop all this nonsense. But we also have to be politically engaged and active. And I know that a lot of times that's difficult for our communities because they don't want to.
Yeah.
Because it's a system that has always beat us down.
Yeah.
However, the framework is indigenous, and it is our duty to take it back.
Love that.
Yeah, the Iroquois Indians are the ones who designed it, so therefore it is our responsibility to take it back, because white people have colonized it, taken it away, perverted it, and now they're using it to abuse us.
100%.
So now we have to intercede. We cannot be scared no more. And if you look at our history, that's the only thing we haven't done. We've continued to protest, and we go out and we yell and we go home and it changes nothing. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it brings awareness, yes. But
Yeah.
beyond that, the longevity of it, where do we see it? And we have to go after the policy. These policies are inherently racist, and we have to get people in there that are willing to change it. And we have the numbers. We have the numbers. We can pick anybody we want.
And you have Edin.
Yeah.
So that's
Together, yeah.
you know, together, because like I said, like he's always doing something, but he's only one man. You know what I mean? And that's why it's like I wish everyone would catch on, or anybody who asks me certain things too. I'm always like, go follow my friend, like trust, like to me, you're a leader. You know, you're a leader, but linking up with more people who feel just as strong as you becomes a movement.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Becomes a movement. And like I didn't even know that stuff about Edward James almost showing up. That sounds like just not a coincidence. It almost sounds like it's true. It might just be this time. It's time to bring this story to light. It's time to just decide kind of where you stand, really. You know what I mean? You're standing on communities, real talk. And that's scary. It's a scary conversation.
And I know it's tough, you know.
Absolutely.
People have been long
scared as fuck right now.
Been, you know, you've been a fan for years, but, you know,
yeah,
not being able to go to a Dodger game compared to what our ancestors didn't have, you know, like you're pretty much bitching about like luxury stuff that, you know, it's no te vas a morir, you know.
No, for sure. And then there's that. It's to say that like, wow, at one point this was actually true. She actually said that at one point, you know, Mexicans didn't like the Dodgers.
Yeah,
like I've never heard that in my life. We live in the total opposite, and we've been living in the total opposite since I've been born. Okay,
and we're seeing history repeat because now they're using the new what is that guy's name? Julio
Uribe.
Yes. So they're repeating because the cycle already worked. It was successful with Fernando.
Yeah.
And now they're using him again, and that's what happens, right? History repeats when we don't learn.
Yeah.
And I mean, because like I was sharing with you, right? How come they haven't adopted Fernando into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Because again, that sport was never intended for us, and it's boring. But besides that,
this girl,
you know, I mean,
some of us like baseball.
It's still boring, you know. But really, they never intended for us to be a part of it. I mean, just look at even what Jackie Robinson went through. I mean, this sport, they didn't want us. They want our money.
I mean,
it's
it's obvious that some people have made themselves super undeniable, and they had to change with times, but that's not to say that they're not using people who look like us to keep us in our place. This is like normal shit, right? Like this is like happens to us all the time with everything. It just happens to now be with a team that most of us grew up on and like love. It happens to be this. We're here. We're fucking here. Yeah. It's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Well, Melissa, thank you. I want to thank you so much for being here. For you just brought so much. You brought a lot of information right now that I think people definitely need to hear. Not just on my platform, but many. We need to get. I'm gonna push you out to whoever I can because I think it's super important, and mine isn't big enough. I definitely want you to reach the audience you need to make this movement happen, for sure. And I really wish that for you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I am gonna also, you know, when we upload this next week and we do the editing, like I'm gonna put those pictures up of your family if you don't mind.
Yeah, no, please.
Because they do speak super volumes if you have not seen them. I want you guys to feel for her and understand that when you hear it and you see it, the collab of them both, it feels like a deep cut.
We are you. We are the community.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, like I mean, we all have to imagine ourselves being in these shoes. Like when you said, just, you know, you did it perfectly to mention Montebello and these cities. Like, you know, my nana used to live right here, and I'm, you know, we had to sell her house, but like just thinking if that was my great grandma or my nana, like I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty fucking pissed off, you know? So yeah, I see why it runs so deep and why it cuts so deep. But thank you. Thank you for being here.
And then, you know, one last thing I just
yes, of course, go ahead.
Touch upon was like, you know how you were saying like it's hard to get everybody organized. That's not true because we see the organization in that stadium. I mean, we even have gang members that don't fight. It becomes the UN right there, the UN for the cholos.
For real. So we just need one big party movement. Wherever we get together, there's drinks.
So it's not impossible because we see the power of ourselves in that stadium. We see ourselves in that stadium, and we made them $1 billion corporation. We have the power and the money within ourselves to do what we need to do for ourselves.
We need to stop thinking blue and think brown.
There you go.
Thank you.
That's what it really is. Thank you, Melissa.
No, thank you.
I appreciate you. I got another homie who needs to interview you. He's sitting over there. Oh man, that was really good. That was very touching. I think that we definitely brought this story to light. I hope it not just through my podcast, but that this movement catches fire. Period.
Yeah.
And it does feel like a strong hurt. You're right.
It does. It's like finding out the love of your life cheated on you.
It just is like, no.
I'm like, damn, how come it wasn't the Clippers or the Angels?
I know. We could have easily done this if it was a fucking Clippers. Put the camera on them real quick. because they're all over here representing, and I definitely want to capture that you know they're. This is not. There you go. And so those are some of the. That's one of the banners out of the 3 that when they ran onto Dodger Stadium, that they went to go let people know these are the fucking communities on that field, which was very fucking. Was badass, honestly.
And then the future is here. I mean, I mean, the thing I do it for too is like to inspire future leaders like Panchebe. He's super young, and when he seen us on the field, he jumped on the field too. You know, he's right there. And he did his thing, and they also smashed his head on the floor a couple times, right? Panchebe?
Yeah, you can turn on.
When I did jump on the stadium, the security guards did like bang my head across onto the field pretty hard.
So they pretty much overdid their share.
It, you know.
Yeah, but you're okay?
I think so.
You ready to do it again?
Yeah, I'd be down to do it.
2026.
2026. Oh man, it's gonna take some time for you to get around to it. But you know what? There's always different things. I would suggest. You know, it's a good community to go. It's hard because, like, the fucking Cholos, they fucking love their Dodger Stadium, but it's like it's almost like you need to reach them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But Fools Gone Wild did post you though, right? Yeah. And I felt like that brought a lot of attention. It does, like whether we like it or not, whether it's a made fun page, it also brings a lot of people to the stands.
Shout out to him for posting it because, and they took it down too. They took it down like 30 minutes after, but then they kind of like shadow banned it because it was still up, but it wasn't. And then he sent me a message. He's like, they took it down, and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Well, dude, and it's a fucked up situation because the censorship also blocks all the blessings. Yeah. You know, it's fucking unfortunate. But I always want people to keep up with you in your work. How has things been when it comes to the vendor community? Because you know what? Since you've been here, I feel like it just got worse. Yeah. Unfortunate, because Edin came here last time and we were talking about these vendors, and he was, actually collecting funds. At first, he was doing it out of pocket, where he actually take care of the vendors himself and make sure that they had either a security guard or mace or a taser. He was actually, giving them things to protect themselves. And then he took it up a notch to start collecting funds for it. And then took it up a whole other notch because he used this as social media to bring awareness, period, on that. But it's fucking all the time.
Yeah. So now I just started focusing. It was so many victims that I stopped receiving donations because my main thing is to use my platform to fundraise for them. There was Baltasar from San Bernardino who was punched repeatedly. So I focus on trying to make a good edited video so I can publish their fundraiser. And they donated I think around $8,000 to him, and now he's been able to use that para aliviarse, to use that to get back on his feet. Yes. Then we have Ignacio, who was stabbed in LA 8 times. I saw that one. Same thing with him. I put their GoFundMe out there.
You guys stabbed, like, just
64 years old.
It's our vendors. First of all, our vendors, most of them are old. They're older. You know what I mean? Can't like imagine your older life. Like, I always give money to our vendors just to fucking give them money. So half the time, like, especially like my ladies out there, like, they're covered up from head to toe. It's hot as shit out there. And my older ladies are out there in the sun, and it fucking hurts my feelings. So like, if I have it, it's just for them. I don't need flowers. I don't need nothing. You know what I mean? But obviously I can't take care of everybody. But you guys, these are our people, and they're getting stabbed for working. For doing what the people won't do. Someone can't even go and try and sell something. You know how everyone is allowed, really. You can sell anything on the street, really. Like, anybody can take it upon themselves to do that. But these people that do it as a vendor, you guys, they do it that's their life. That's their business. This is their one chance of every day. Might be the chance that they have a meal. It might be the chance that they don't lose their home. There's so many fucking details behind someone who's willing to be on the street all through the heat, through the rain, and fucking just to make a living. And they're getting all this fucking disrespect. And I'm cussing because I'm getting upset. I'm cussing because I'm getting pretty fucking mad. But it's sad. It's fucking sad to see. So I want you guys, when you guys do, if you guys do have anything and you guys are watching his page and something reaches out to you, to your heart, to try and give whatever it is you can. I'm not asking you for $20, but every little thing counts. And I know, I know that, you know what I mean? I know that, it's unfortunate that it is getting worse. In the videos, I do notice it is always somebody of the Black community.
Yeah, lately actually, there's been a couple, you know, some of our own too. But
oh, really?
I think right now, honestly, what's to blame here is the economy right now. What's going on?
Of course, and we talked about that last time. Like it's. I'm not saying it's just a Black community, but when you do see that, it does start tiny race wars through the comments and things like that, and it's hard because as much as you love people, you also see the patterns.
Yeah.
And I always often ask why we have these patterns, and Edin knows how to explain, economy wise, why this works out the way it does. So I'll let you.
That's why I'm trying to help out the vendors to transition to digital, so they won't have that much cash in their pockets. Because right now, folks are hungry. They, who has money in their pockets in the street? Vendors do. So right now, luckily we've been able to help out plenty of vendors to get Cash App. So shout out. So like basically, if anyone's listening right now, how you can help out your local vendor. So
yes,
I don't know
perfect.
if you heard of PLS check cashing places.
I have not.
So any check cashing place can give out prepaid debit cards even if you don't have a social security.
Okay.
So you can go in there with your IT number or with any sort of identification from your country. Mm-hmm. They'll give them a debit card. With that debit card, all you got to do is download, Cash App, Venmo, Zelle. That's it.
Okay.
And a lot of these vendors who don't have that, they miss out on a lot of customers because of that.
For sure.
So that's one way we're trying to do it right now.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Like that that would help.
Yeah, definitely will help. Also, body cameras we've been giving out. And if they were to get tickets, we also have my friend Christian Cardenas. He's an attorney, a criminal attorney. He's working pro bono for them.
Wow.
We also have Cynthia, who's an immigration attorney, who's going to be helping us out with victims who are eligible for a U visa after they get attacked if they're undocumented. But that's definitely one way we can help mitigate these whole attacks, just so they can have less cash in their pockets. Because that's the one thing that, I was a thug out in the hood too. So like I had homies out there, busting licks all the time. And if who has money in their pockets, like I said, it's vendors. So that's one thing that we're trying to avoid right now.
To hear that it's our own people too is like super. It's super disappointing.
Super disrespectful, yeah.
Because if you've been in our lives, you know what I mean? Like, it's obviously if you're looking for it, you ain't coming from no rich place, but like what the older people have to sacrifice, especially the ones who got here later. You know what I mean? It's a sad situation. What else? You know what? I did see also another story about the guy who stepped in to help the vendors. So now people who actually are stepping in and helping the vendors are actually being attacked by the police.
Yeah. If it's not people, it's the police, and it sucks. So, for example, shout out to that guy. I'm looking for him.
Oh, okay.
So if anyone knows who he is, let me know. I've been looking for him.
See if they stuffed him, obviously, somewhere.
Yeah. So we'll help him out with whatever they charge them with. So, we had a meeting with the Department of Public Health. Right.
Okay.
So the main issue is that these vendors don't have permits, right?
Right.
And we found out that there's been 10,000 applications turned in that are eligible for permits in LA County.
Eligible?
Yeah, eligible.
Okay.
Guess how many they approved in since the beginning of the pandemic?
How many?
165. So how are they going to expect folks to have permits? And then the city of LA.
Someone's usually getting paid to be in like AC and not do their job while people are out there just waiting for these things to happen for someone else to do their fucking job. That's easy as fuck. Crazy.
Yeah. So something's got to give. So, I mean, we're going to be there defending them, and we're going to try our best, and we're in collaboration with other organizations that are going to be helping them out with the permit process too, and try to help them out. But
you're doing all you can, Edin.
Thanks.
We're trying. I really appreciate you, for real. I could see it in your face, and I know you're tired, but you're fighting, and I'm always going to support you. I'm always going to support whatever movements that you have. And sorry if you guys can hear it. Oh, it's okay.
No, sorry if I'm a little down. Like this. What was it? Sunday? Was it Sunday? My cousin. I had my cousin was driving, and he ended up getting in an accident. And my nephew and his girlfriend's son, all three of them passed away.
Oh my god!
This was like a couple days after the whole Dodgers situation. So it's been like I'm still in shock, you know, like
For sure.
kind of like just going through it. So
oh yeah, bro, you're it's all over. It's okay.
No,
You're good.
okay.
You're good. Damn, I fucking appreciate you showing up, even though you have so much stuff going on.
No, and
That's
thank
super
you to
deep.
Melissa and Banchabe and Jaguar for showing up
Yes, for
too.
sure. All of you guys. Damn, I should have brought like a pastor. I feel like we need like major fucking prayer. You know what I mean? I feel like that right now. Like there's just a lot of energy and I wish I could help it all. I wish I could save it all, but I would ask my audience, because you guys know how I am about stuff like this. I know Pastor Penny is probably in the Twitch right now, and as you can see, not only the families of the families, but like our people who are out here on the forefront, Edin, people just trying to say, hey, we're here, we exist, we stand for something bigger than what you put on us. They need help. And prayer sometimes could just be it. Even to wish someone well. You know what I mean? Good energy, good shit. You guys heard everything. You guys know what's going on, how you can help, what you can do more information on. If you need to do your own research, because I know I got some debatable people who be fucking watching this shit, and all of a sudden they like, well, if they didn't get this correct, and da-da-da. No, well, then go do your own shit. You know what I mean? It's coming from the horse's mouth. Or the homegirl's mouth. Melissa came here and gangbanged on me first before she started talking the way she was in that video. I was like, okay, switched it up. She's been on TV before or some shit. But yeah. Yes, you guys, I want to ask for major love, major prayer. If you or someone out there who can help or wants to be a part of this, then like, of course, we already have the links up. You already see his name. You see where you guys could find him. And I'm sure that's how you can get in touch with the homegirls as well. Like I said, my stage is here. It's always for you. It's always open. And in any way I could help, shape, or form. Whatever I can do, I will. I do need to make time to go with you. I do need to make time to do that stuff. But we're gonna have our moment, because it seems like you're going through the trenches right now, and it's for a reason. You know what I mean? It's for a reason. There is something out of there. It's going to be either you give up or you get out, and we're going to find out what the fuck that is.
Definitely.
But you're definitely made for something really big, and I hope that you stay strong. You know what I mean? And if you need to fucking take a break, dog, take a break. Give yourself a break. Give yourself some time to reset, because you're a soldier. You need to be out there. You know what I mean? A lot of us look to you as that.
Well, if our people stop messing with our vendors, then I'll get my break.
There you go.
That? So y'all gotta give me a break, man.
Yeah, I know. You give the homie a break. Nah, for real though, give the vendors a break. And with that being said, and knowing what's going on in the background, I hope that if you saw a vendor sometime soon and you just happen to be listening to this podcast, that you just gave out of hearing this. You know what I mean? And yeah, I want to thank you for being here and taking the time.
Thank you. And, follow Buried Under the Blue. And if you want to get involved, just follow that page and, get involved. And shout out to Brown Issues. Ever since the Dodger situation, they started blasting all the history. Fox,
yeah, I seen that.
Other outlets.
Love following Brown Issues, because they do put everything on blast. And for you guys to even have that up before they did, like, it's causing something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and shout out to Buried in the Blue. They've been doing it since forever.
Forever. Forever. And shout out to those families, and make sure you pray for them as well. Okay, I'm gonna have you switch seats with Norbert real quick. Norbert is gonna be on the show right now. It's gonna say Edin's name under Norbert, but that's okay. Oh yeah. Norbert's gonna have his 5 minutes turned into an hour of fame right now.
That's only in private.
Okay.
I don't talk for an hour.
Oh,
Sorry
there you
about
go. No, you're good. Put him on. Okay, I'm going to make this short. It's not going to be... Well, actually, it is crazy. I'm sorry. It's actually super fucking important.
It really is.
It really, really is. So,
Yes.
my mom will happen to be talking to the homie Eric, who is... shout out to Eric, who's now part of the team. Only One of Me. You guys see him in the chat. Super great guy. Super...
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's right. Teamwork does make the dream work. And so I want to welcome him, but also with welcoming him, he was talking to my mom, and they got into this conversation. It got a little political, and he was kind of expressing his political background.
Yeah.
And then my mom all of a sudden wants to mention my grandfather, okay? My great-grandfather, excuse me. So I knew who my great-grandfather is. I've met him. I've been around him. Usually like a celebration, whether it be like a birthday or some type of get-together. But he's my Nana's father, and my Nana didn't meet him till about, I think she was 25. Okay, so the whole time she never really even met her father. Yeah. And the only thing that my Nana would ever say is that her daddy was important. She would say, my daddy's an important man. Well, my daddy was an important man. And she would never really go into detail about who he was, you know? So I'm just thinking this is my great-grandpa Tony. Like, no big deal. We all have grandpas, especially over here. They're all named Tony.
They're all great.
They're all great. Yeah, and they're all important to you, right? But there was... My mom sent me this thing. She sent it to all of us. We have like a chat, me and my family, and she sent me this thing to check out. And she's like, "Hey, you guys, I just want you guys to check out, you know, this thing on your grandfather, to get to know him a little bit." All of a sudden, I'm 33 years old. She wants me to get to know my great grandfather a little bit. So I'm like, okay, I'm super like, let's find out what this is. Well, I start reading it, and then I start digging. I'm getting deeper and deeper, and I'm like, wait a minute, like what's going on? Like, he sounds super important.
Oh yeah.
Why the fuck have I never heard of any of this shit?
Why have any of us? That's another question.
Right. So my great grandfather's name is Anthony P. Rios. You guys can look him up. And Norbert says it best. I just love like he's excited about it. So I want him to explain.
I fanboyed on him.
Yeah, you did. You fanboyed.
Oh yeah.
He was like kind of like Johnny Lawrence to you.
Yeah, you know what? He is.
Okay, we're not going to get to that. But
fine.
Go ahead and talk about who Anthony P. Rios is.
I mean, he started at 15 years old, and he was
15 years old in Santa Paula.
Fruit picking.
Lemon picker.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you go. And he had a good heart.
Yeah.
And I mean, he wasn't educated, but he knew what was wrong at the time.
For sure.
And he knew in the wintertime they weren't getting any money.
Correct.
They were just surviving.
Yeah.
Just for the next harvest.
Correct.
And he organized.
Yeah, he organized. So
together,
people that he picked, so people that were around him and the workers, he was bilingual. So they looked to him because that felt, you know, at the time it was a smart choice. You know what I mean? But he was a teenager, and they picked him to be the basically the leader of them. And what he did was he didn't fight for it, but he pushed so that way they can receive money during the winter when they weren't able to work. So that way they can eat and things like that. I'm sure it was very, very small, but it's something, right? It's something.
And you know, that's very important because we tend not to let our kids talk. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was 15 years old. Nobody told him, hey, shut up, just do what you're supposed to do.
True.
And that's how we all grew up.
True.
Shut up and do what you're supposed to do.
True, Penny, wherever you are.
Your great-grandfather said, no, I'm going to talk. I'm going to say what's wrong, and I'm going to let everybody else know, and we're all going to do it together. 15-year-old. Imagine a 15-year-old saying something like that.
Mexican.
Exactly. Saying his people, we're going to get together, and we're going to fight for something. And what did he do? He got money for them. Mm-hmm. He started a fund. He got a fund started for them, and they had money for the time off.
Yeah.
I mean, wow, 15 years old to do something like that.
For sure.
I mean, it was already a good sign. And I mean, just to go to show everybody, let your 15-year-olds talk. Let them express themselves.
Yeah, you never know. They could be the next leader.
Just because they're young doesn't mean they're dumb.
That's true. You know, that's true. So it started there.
It started there.
Yes.
And then he came south. He came south, and he started up over here on the east side.
Yes.
And he started organizing here, and he started. I'm assuming he started working here. He started building. Until he started creating the organization, which was the CSO.
Community Service Organization.
The CSO.
It was a Tony Rios donation.
Yes, and it was very important. I mean,
it was created in 1977.
He was a builder.
He was a builder.
He was a builder. His intention was to build for his community. His intention was to collect everybody together, get donations, start programs for the community. Like I told you, he created Costco before there was a Costco. He created a program where people from the community can get in on it by, not donating, but they would have to have a membership, which was like $5 at the time, but they would get super deep discounts on things we need, necessities.
Yeah.
That they wouldn't be able to get outside of the community. He started that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing that you could start up a program with the people around you. I mean, built and
we don't. It's crazy because we don't ever really hear about this like at all.
Exactly, we don't hear about this. We hear the louder stuff. And I told you the reason why he was overlooked is only because he was overshadowed. I mean, the things Cesar Chavez did, Dolores Huerta, it was amazing. They changed our community, and that's for sure. But they overshadowed the builders. And, that tends to happen. Nobody ever talks about the builders. Everybody talks about the person that talks, which is great. Everybody needs a leader that talks.
Yeah.
But more or less, they never really mention the people behind the scenes, the people that are building, the people that are calling, the people that are talking to people.
The people who made those stages for those people to talk on.
Exactly. And your great-grandfather created a credit union for his community, which was very important. I mean, even now we have credit unions, and I'm not sure if it's run by us, but I think a few of them are the credit unions around these areas might be. But at that time,
it's kind of crazy to think about.
For him to do that, with the intention to come up with money to give it to his community so they can build businesses.
Yeah.
Something tangible, businesses, so they can get housing on the east side, because everybody knows during that time, nobody on the west side was going to get any kind of loans. That was literally a law. Don't give those people a loan. Otherwise, we are not going to be a bank anymore. So your dad went against the grain. I'm sorry, your great-grandfather went against the grain.
My dad didn't do shit.
Your great-grandfather went against the grain. And he created something tangible, something that people can hold on to, something that people can build, which was very important in that time, because a lot of businesses that exist here and a lot of businesses that were created during that time, it's because of him and his vision to build his community. And that's very important because, I mean, we could organize, we can talk, and that's all very important. We need to do that. We need to communicate with these organizations. We need to keep tabs. We need to always be updated, because these things will affect us, if not now, eventually, or our kids. But we do need something tangible. I mean, at this point, all of us can see that our local government is not looking out for our best interests. And then again, when have they? We like to think they're on our side. I mean, we like to think they want to help us. That's what they say, right? Yeah. But I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right?
The proof is in the pudding. So, with that being said, after even some deeper stuff, and which was crazy because, like, I'm just finding this out, but then I had Edin here, right? And then I got into more digging, and I found an article that my grandfather is in. I could just read like a little bit of the description here. It says, founding member and former president of community service organization Anthony P. Rios gained attention in 1952 when he and Alfred, I can't even say his last name, were exonerated on interfering with police in a brutality case. Yeah. Something I'm like Edin would fucking do. You know what I mean? He said the two men had attempted to protect a man from being beaten by a drunken police officer.
That says a lot.
And ended being beaten and detained themselves. From the conception of 1947, a statewide community service organization fostered a mission to the Mexican American community to serve as a grassroots organization promoting empowerment. The organization was founded and grew through the efforts of Fred Ross, Edward Roybal, Dolores Huerta, Cesar Chavez, Herman Gallegos, and Anthony Tony P. Rios.
Yeah, they were kids. Cesar Chavez and Dolores Huerta were kids back then.
What was that? You could turn that on?
Yeah.
Just maybe you didn't make the connection, but they were connected with working with the 3 destroyed communities.
The OSS, the community service.
So I didn't know if you realized that, because even the people in the 3 communities picked in the fields to pay for the land that they had. And so CSO is one of the things that's documented as working with the community. The three
Yeah, see?
communities that it pertains
No, I
to.
didn't make it. I knew.
So
No,
you're sitting here saying it. I go, I don't think she realizes.
I don't.
You know,
we're just finding out who,
Yeah,
who
we're
he is.
little
Like,
by
I don't
little
know him.
getting the
you know
whole
what I mean? Like,
story behind it all.
I never knew. I never
I
knew
have some
this.
documents we can share with you.
Yeah, that'd be
Wow.
great. You know, that's what I was telling her. We need to find these documents, these files. that
There's
are
not very many.
There's not that many.
And not just that, now do you understand the value of the 3 community centers that we want and the name of the 3 communities, the power that we'll have to bring in the community to organize?
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. And,
For sure.
And
I love that.
I
I'm telling you that I knew, like, I didn't even know you guys were going to be here,
Yeah.
but I was like, Edin's going to be here. And I was like, it's crazy because it just kind of is all happening
Yeah.
like one after another. I
Oh, yeah.
literally just found this out. This is like great grandfather
Yeah.
missing stories.
Yeah, we both found this out.
Really
last
didn't know who
week,
that
last
he
weekend.
had been a part of this at all. No one's ever mentioned anything to me. So my mom's like, "You want to know why you are the way you are? That's why."
Now I know too.
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I want to know these things, and now we're finding
they're
out.
important because I mean that's the thing. Like you said, we're trying to get back our history, but we don't know our history because it's not on record. And if you have those documents, we need to put them out so if we could show something like that because that's tangible stuff.
Yeah.
Because right now it's all up in the air. Me and Sammy only know exactly what's online. And
Yeah, we were just
unfortunately,
digging. We were
there's-
like, what the
digging,
hell?
We're digging. There's not a lot of resources that talked about him or the organization. So that would be great if you had those documents so we could upload it and we could document it because that's important. That's history. That's our history.
Well,
I thought you would
and
like
it's
that, Edin.
connected again, it goes back to bringing it all together, that a lot of people throughout Los Angeles are probably related and connected to the 3 communities.
And we
Of
just don't
course.
know.
Just that they're experiencing what we experience, but they're actually probably genuinely connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when a lot of people got displaced, they went to East LA, Montebello, City
Pretty much.
Terrace, they spread it.
Well, the only places we were
everywhere.
allowed to
Yeah.
go at the time.
Yeah.
Because we weren't allowed to go on the west side.
no,
they
that's-
literally took property from people on the west side of color.
Well, that's why we lived right there, and that's why it was
Yeah.
such a big deal, because we were actually able to obtain home ownership.
But I actually wanted to tell you about that because I know the Dodgers do have a part to play in that. But in all fairness, it's the county. The counties are the ones that are permitting that. They're the ones that are putting that in the ballot. They're the ones that have lobbyists putting those things in the
Well,
ballot.
that's why we said both.
Yeah.
But see, when the housing project was scrapped,
Yeah.
what they should have done is give the homeowners an opportunity to buy back their land. But
Of
they
course.
didn't. What they did is they sold the 315 acres for $1.
That makes a lot of sense.
I'll give you 2 and give it back.
And
I'll give you 5 and keep the change.
I
How
wouldn't
about
even
that?
believe them
Yeah.
back then, and I wouldn't even believe them now either.
What's the value of that land
I mean-
today versus what the value of it was?
Come on.
Crazy.
It would make
Come on.
11,000 families.
You could buy a shack there for like $1 million now.
You know, see, that's 11,000 families that lost out on millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Generational wealth.
Well, I mean, I mean, like I said, I like to think it's more the county because I mean, you look at our homeless people. Look at our homeless people. That's not the Dodgers with the homeless people. That's the county. That's literally in their power to change, but they don't want to change it.
It's Dodger money that's funding. And
You could give it.
It is Dodger money that's funding and fueling luxury housing. So it is. It's just because you don't
Part.
see them on the forefront doesn't mean that they're not
Yeah.
behind the scenes. So it's both. It's still, they're in collusion together.
The county loves that the Dodgers are
county,
being
the
blamed.
county loves that money. That's why they have that stadium in
Yeah.
Inglewood because the county is hoping to collect all that tax money.
Yeah.
But then again, where's that tax money going, right?
Right, they're in collusion. That's why we're saying again, we need representation. We need to start taking office.
Well, that was the one thing that I did appreciate about her great grandfather, that he did organize people to actually go out and vote, and he did get one person on the seat.
Yeah, they did.
And now, what happened with the 3 communities and his
That's the first thing
organization,
they did.
That's something that I'm not too familiar with. I can't
Yeah.
really speak too much of that because I don't have the details on that or the facts.
You guys should really watch. It's funny because my mentor, his name's Antonio Gonzalez. I worked for a nonprofit for 4 years called Southwest Voter, and we registered over 2.5 million Mexicans to register to vote from the 70s up to until 2016, and his mentor was Willie Velasquez. He has a documentary on PBS. It's called Su Voto es Su Voz. And they're very similar to what your great-grandpa did. And I think it's amazing. Now I know why it runs in your blood, too. But yeah, definitely organizing, which is my 9 to 5, which is what I do as well. But I think back then it was very imperative because that was needed, especially after the Civil Rights Act was passed. Also, I was reading up on your great grandfather. He worked with Roy Ball, which is his daughter represents my district in Cudahy. And so maybe you should talk to her.
My mom was actually mentioning all these names and whatnot, and Eric was actually getting involved too. And I'm so like thrown back on like didn't know nothing, that I was like, had I known this, we would have had some way more deeper information. Because that's the thing. That's the beautiful part about this thing is like I wanted to bring him to light, but also like thankfully like the weirdness is that we're all here, that we happen to be all in the same room, and that people can actually bring that stuff to light now, right?
Yeah.
Like that's really the point.
Well, these are pieces to the puzzle, our puzzle. Yeah. That the county has tried very hard and has successfully kept secret and kept hidden from us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
and families, stop keeping secrets from your family.
Well, here's the other.
You know what I mean?
And here's the other thing: we can't keep blaming the county for not helping us, because at this point we just got to help ourselves. We got to teach our kids to vote. We got to take them to vote with us. We got to.
But also, what Edin's doing, inspire them to do these things, because this is the only way we're going to be able to get it done.
Edin's one man.
Exactly.
No, the stuff that you're talking about is very. That's actually how I got involved with politics, because I started working in Orange County registering folks to vote. We actually were the reason why Orange County turned blue from red.
Yeah, that was a big surprise.
That was in 2016.
Everyone that happened too.
So I was out there. We were out there canvassing, door knocking, registering people to vote. That's very important, and that's one of the reasons why I worked for Bernie Sanders and I was his regional field director, because voting is super important. It's not just about voting, but doing your research on what you're voting on, and
of course,
which is one of the reasons why we got Trump out.
For sure,
that was a good thing.
But again, to recommend, I just want to recommend Edin though. Period, because if you think about those things, like. We had people before, and even my own family, who started these things, and like, I'm not getting anyone to register to vote. You know what I mean? Like, it's people talk, but Edin walks.
Hey, did you vote? Did you vote? Did you vote?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is like, we should be so lucky. You know what I mean? Yes. We should be so lucky to have someone like Edin. You know, whose focus and like only focus is that's not for him.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? He's only one man, and he's fighting for a mass. You know what I mean? Compared to like he's not fighting for himself. He's fucking tired.
Yeah, he is.
You know what I mean?
He's been into work a lot of work. And you know, at the end of the day, it's us. We got to change, because everybody's got to realize LAUSD is the county. Mm-hmm. They're not trying to teach our kids to be a citizen.
Yeah,
they're trying
it's
to teach
us.
them to be
it's
workers.
Us that need to teach us.
It's on us at this point.
Yeah, because I did work. Up at LA Unified School District, and I was advocating for civics to be reinstated for our children, because they removed it in the 1950s because they knew that they projected that we would be the majority. And so again, we're always as good. We're just as good as anybody else given the opportunity. And so they did remove civics. So our kids would not learn how to civically engage and advocate on behalf of themselves. And even still, I'm still fighting for it to be reinstated as curriculum.
That's great.
Because I feel like right now we have a large population of unhoused children. And so they have to learn how to speak up for themselves. And so I'm still fighting to make that part of the curriculum again, to be reinstated. And as well, I'm also arguing with them that the Dodgers should not be allowed to send out robocalls to a public school, because it's a private corporation, and they
really?
are grooming.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah, I have one of the messages saved, and so that was very triggering, and I'm writing a letter to the district about that, that a private corporation does not belong in a public school that is actually the second largest district within the United States. So they're grooming our kids at every level, from the public parks to the school to everything. They're dumbing us down and not giving us the tools that we need that are 100%. Palatable for us to elevate ourselves. So this is why these kind of things and actions and organizing and platforms are very important.
Extremely.
For sure. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I feel like it's in my heart to offer you. We need to record her just to speak on everything herself. I'm going to produce it, because I feel it.
Because and she's totally. I'm with her on that, because I am so against what LAUSD has been doing with our kids. It's horrible. I mean, they really are dumbing us down. That's been happening.
I don't know what you've been through, girl, but there's something about you.
She's been through. I mean,
I could almost sense it all, but I'm proud. You know what I mean? I don't even know you like that, but I mean, she did come in here gangbanging, so you know.
Well, I mean, if she grew up in Echo Park back in the day, you kind of have to like
for
be
sure
part of that life.
She was like, why you call this homegirl? Eh? Like, yeah.
Maybe that was the reason they
no
made
for
that
sure.
movie.
I want after the show, like I kind of want to get in touch with you to do something. I think it will be important.
Yeah.
Let's help our people. This is what we get put in the place for, right?
Yes, this is why I love Sammy, because her platform allows us, all of us, to talk.
For sure.
Voice.
It's not about
and you guys that are getting into it.
Yeah, I'm not
supporting her.
Yeah, I'm not asking you guys, don't watch baseball anymore, or don't be a Dodger fan. I'm not asking any of that. I'm asking you just to pay attention and see what it is, because it's our people. You know what I mean?
It's our dollars.
It's our people, for sure.
We have to understand that if we look into the history of Los Angeles since its creation.
Wait, go ahead. Go ahead, hon.
Introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, my name is Jaguar, representative. We're buried under the Blue and First Nation Syndicate. We gotta understand that Los Angeles, as a city, has a reputation of exploiting people of color since its creation, to the point where legal slavery within the bounds of Los Angeles County, and when we look to present time, it's just been a slight evolution of that slavery and that exploitation. But when we really look at it, it's still the same thing, you know what I'm saying? But really, you know, not so long ago, you know, it would be illegal for a person of color to just walk around Los Angeles without physically working or having a work permit.
Shit.
Or a citizen, basically a white privileged citizen, could pick up any people of color that was walking around, commit a citizen's arrest, get them locked up, and then another person with that privilege can go and check out the stock within the jail, pay the bail for said person, woman or man, then remove them from that jail situation, take them home to work off their debt. So we could just imagine the kind of things that these white people were doing to our men and women during those times. And these are the things that gave birth to like Caltrans and community service and different things like that. So Los Angeles has a really, really bad history.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they continue to do it, but in different ways.
Oh, yeah.
Where we don't really feel it and we don't see it as much. But when we know its history, then we could understand, you know, where it's coming from and why it's still happening today.
Well, I mean, it's just like what happened with General Hospital.
Thank you.
With what's it called? Vasectomies? The illegal vasectomy. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Sterilization of the women.
Exactly. More like Mexican women.
Yes.
They were getting vasectomies.
Yeah,
that's
vasectomies.
it.
So sterilization.
Without their knowledge.
sterilization.
Without their knowledge.
Vasectomies is for the men.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Sterilization is for the women.
Yes, there is it. They were doing that to women without their knowledge.
Yes.
And those women took the county to court for that, and the county sided with the doctors. They
Of
told
course.
them. They told them the truth.
Well,
They
of
told
course.
them.
Well, see, this is why, like, we have to be the mass.
Well, the county does something for us every 10 years. You know, gangs isn't our fault. Gangs is the county. They're the ones that created it, not us.
Ask homegirl. Hey,
I mean,
my
we gotta
girl.
understand. We gotta understand whatever way you want to look at it, whether you want to sugarcoat it or not. Really, when it comes down to it, it's us against them. It's really them against us,
It really
because
is.
we're not the ones instigating the fight or
Nope.
instigating the.
We just wanna
the
work and
conflict.
live a happy life.
We just want to work and live, and they know that, and they use that to their advantage. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, taking advantage of us and using us to the fullest extent.
But you know what? It's leveled up at this point because they're not only attacking us anymore. They're going after. They don't care anymore. They don't even see color. They just see money. I mean, you see the
That's true.
homeless people. They're not brown.
That's
they're
true.
white. They're black. They're Asians sometimes too.
Yeah.
At this point, they're going after everyone.
But
It's all about money. At this point.
Again, it's the same thing. We go to Chinatown and we know there's a bunch of unmarked graves full of Chinese people that were massacred there by white people, black people, brown people. There was right there by Over Street. They used to hang natives and Mexicans there for everyone to show, to everyone to see.
But you know, that didn't happen
Yeah,
until the
too
creation
scared.
of LAPD. That didn't happen to the creation of LAPD. Once LAPD got created, all of that started happening.
all
that
that.
wasn't a coincidence.
Oh, man.
Nothing's
Here
a
we go.
coincidence.
It's
That's the whole
like,
point.
it's like I tell people, LAPD doesn't have good apples. It's a bad tree with good apples.
Definitely,
It's a bad tree. The whole thing is bad. It just has a few good apples.
No. There's another thing that we gotta understand too. That there's a lot of people like sister right here. She's really from LA because she has ancestors that have been here.
Yeah.
For 3 or 4 generations,
Yeah.
just like Melissa. But there's a lot of us that are just second generation
Exactly.
here, and we right away we fall in love. We'll rock the LA hat. We're Dodgers and we're LA
Yeah.
forever. But you haven't really been here.
Yeah.
You haven't been here from the
Sounds
gate,
funny.
homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
if you're really
yeah.
gonna love where you're at, then you gotta understand everything
gotta know it.
that we've been through. The people that have been here originally have been through to be where they're at right now, and how we just can't just jump on a bandwagon. If we're gonna join the team, we gotta be good team players. You know what I'm saying?
Know
That's
what it comes
Chicana's gone
with.
through.
For sure, we do that so much, and as time goes on, that we don't talk about this, is the more they will do it. The more they will do it. It's
Definitely.
Ooh, yeah, man, that was so good. Thank you guys, man. Thank you for all the knowledge that you guys spit on the show today.
A lot of pieces to the puzzle.
For sure. And we're still trying to, it's not done. It's not done. We're missing so many pieces.
So much.
Come on. I'm 33. I just found out who my great grandfather was.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And no one talks about this man whatsoever. So I'm really want to bring it to the table and find those pieces. Like we all are trying to find from our families. You know what I mean? And some of them have pieces and they're trying to put them together.
Yeah.
It's a
Definitely.
beautiful thing though.
It is.
It's a beautiful thing. We're fighting for.
We are awakening. This is happening.
Yeah, these things are coming around for a reason. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
All right, so who's next to run on the field? We got to pick. I think Norbert. Norbert. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up. You guys, thank you so much.
I'm gonna go and do my producer part.
The what?
The 100% field run.
The 100% field run, you guys. If we can really make this happen, we're all not going to baseball games for the next 5 years. All right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up. And I hope you guys, anybody who was on Twitch, anybody who was interested in the conversation, we're gonna fucking. I wasn't expecting this, but we're definitely, once we upload this, oh yeah, we're sharing the fuck out of this one. This is the one I really want to share the fuck out of. So let's do that. You guys are always a part of this. Like I said, I'm nothing without my team. You guys are a big part of my team, and Raza, be a part of the team. You know what I mean? Open your eyes. Let's not look the other way. Let's figure this out. You know what I mean? No, that shit ain't cool anymore. It's really not. We got to pay attention and at least, what's the word I'm looking for? Like at least just the accountability part of it, just to say that's for reals and that happened. And let's say that there's so many things that you guys post never forget. Come on. Let's think about this one. Let's think about this one, and let's help our people out and push our fucking culture out there and let people know the real history. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys go like that. Do we have anybody to raid?
Question.
If we do, let's get ready for that.
I have John B.
Okay, cool. I'd like to thank anybody who tuned in. Thank you to anybody who is in this room right now, and I can't wait to upload this one. It's gonna be really great, and I think we'll call it the Displacers. Yeah?
Yeah, I like
The Displacers. Let's do it. Thank you guys. Bye.